everyone, it's Olivia from Girlybunches, and in this video I'm going to be showing you how to make beaded doilies. So I've got this one here over a glass, and this is the one that I showed you in a vlog video a couple of weekends ago, and the principle of this video is basically just to show you how to make how to add beads into your crochet work, but I'm going to show you how to make this doily here, which is really cute. I think the beads on it just really give it a little extra something. So if I just put that one over the glass, you can see that it doesn't hang that well, because these beads I've used are a bit lightweight, sort of plastic. They don't really have any weight to them, whereas these are a bit heavier, and this is a thinner cotton as well, so that helps. Sorry, that dinging noise is quite annoying, isn't it? Sorry. So yeah, put that over again. And the purpose of a beaded doily is really so that it weighs down the edges, so you can hang it over a glass or a jug of water or something. I mean, apart from them looking ridiculously cute, of course, you know, they do have some sort of a practical purpose, but, you know, really I just think they look so adorable. This one I haven't put beads on every end, because these are beads, like I said, are quite heavy, but this one I put beads on every edge bit, because, you know, it's slightly thicker yarn and the beads are really lightweight, but that's what I've got, so, you know, use what you've got. I don't know how big the flies are in your country, but I think that will probably protect my glass. Alright, I think daddy long legs are the thing in this country. Well, for me, I find where I am that they just sort of wake up and they're in your glass of water, which is not what you need in the middle of the night, is it? Anyway, yeah, like I say, there's a practical purpose to a beaded doily apart from looking absurdly cute. So I'll just get rid of this noisy glass, and again, this is the one that I'm going to show you how to use, how to make. So a beaded doily, you do want to have a yarn that is quite thin. You'll generally need to use a smaller hook for it. Here's an example of some of the thin, this is what this one was made from, and Cora Coates and Clark. Now this is obviously, I think from Portugal. Here you go. This is quite expensive in the UK, this stuff to buy. I personally find that this is my most desirable sort of type of yarn to use. I love this cotton. I love these types of cottons. I love thin cottons to use like this. Practically impossible to get hold of in the UK. I don't know why, just so frustrating. And if you do find it, it's usually extortionate and only in very small balls, whereas this one I got as a seller on eBay. I'll put a link down below to her eBay shop, and they're all different weights of yarn. I'm still not really familiar with it, but generally this is I've used a 2mm hook for this. I think you can use a 1.75mm hook, so you're getting into the really thin type hooks here. So if I use one of those tiny little hooks in this video, you're never going to see what I'm doing, so unfortunately I won't be able to use this yarn to show you how to make the doily. I shall probably use this yarn, which is it's a double knit cotton, which is a 4mm traditionally, but I'm probably going to use a 3mm hook. I don't know, we'll see. But anyway, I've only got these beads, so I will have to use these beads with this, and if it doesn't, you know, it's not really going to pull the sides down, but it is just basically to show you how to get beads into your work. Okay, so what you want to do is you can choose any doily pattern that you like. It can be anything. If it's got these tiny sort of edges on them, that's great. If it doesn't, there's nothing to stop you from adding that after you finish the pattern as such. And when you add beads into your work, what you need is you need an uneven number of stitches. So kind of like when we were joining motifs, and I've got a video on how to join motifs, and I'll put a link down below to that. You want to have an uneven number of stitches, because one of the stitches will be sacrificed, as it were, to make that join. So to get something in the middle, you want to have an uneven number of stitches. So I can't remember, but I think this has got 9 stitches here. Yes, I think it is. So you have 4, and then the middle one will attach the bead, and then you'll have the other 4. So you'll have this one sitting in the middle, have the bead sitting in the middle. If you don't have an uneven number of stitches in your pattern, see if you can work it in. Maybe go back a row, you know, and start to allow for that increase a row back. Otherwise, just don't worry about it and just add another stitch in by adding that bead in. As you can see, you're not really adding a lot of length to it, and besides, it is the last round, so you know, who's gonna really notice? I won't tell. Okay, so this doily here actually has 20 beads around the edge, and that's what we're gonna need. Now, the point of me telling you that is because you need to know that before you start, because before you start to work, you need to thread your beads onto your yarn. Okay, so I'm gonna just put this to the side, and I'll get my jar of beads. Here they are, annoyingly noisy. And these beads here, they're just kids' beads. I mean, they're just kids' plastic beads, and great for these projects. And I mean, these are great when you're using this weight of yarn, because this is so much thinner. You know, it's going to be heavy. But like I say, for the purpose of this video, I'm going to have to use this thicker yarn so you can see what I'm doing. So I'm just going to put a handful in there and put these out of the way. I don't knock them over. And then I need to find my needle case. Okay, so I need to find a needle that will go through the beads and that I can thread my yarn through. So let me see, that's quite thin, so I might have trouble. Let's see how we go. So I said I needed 20. Yeah, here we go. That's alright. So I'm just going to pick up 20. Okay, so there's my 20 beads, she says confidently. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 19. See, that was worth checking, because if you don't check, yeah, 19, need one more. If you don't check, then you can't add it in afterwards. Best to add more, really, isn't it, than you actually need. Okay, so we've done that bit now. That was obviously the most difficult bit for me. Oh dear. Right. Okay, so push those beads out of the way. They are on your yarn now, so that's fine. Okay, so this pattern starts off with 20 double trebles. Now, remember, I'm British, so I'm using British terminology. So please tell me if I'm wrong that a double treble in the UK is actually a treble in the US. So here we go. So we're going to need 20 of those to start off with. So a magic loop, and do our first stitch, and I'm going to do 4 chains to replace my first double treble. I've done a video on how to do a double treble, so I'll put the link to that down below. That's 4. So now I need to do 19 more double trebles into that loop. So yarn twice around the hook, and then you pull the yarn over and through the first 2, through the first 2, and then through the next 2, the last 2, whatever. Okay, and then need to do that again, so it's twice around the hook, down and under, grab more yarn, pull the yarn through 2 loops, and then the last 2 loops, and you're left with 1. So I'm going to go all the way around and come back when I get to here, and I should have 20 then. So now I'm just going to do my last double treble into that magic loop. Just going to take the hook out, and again I'm going to pull that tail like that, and that pulls that together, and then I'm going to slip stitch into that 4th chain that we did at the beginning of that round, like that. So we've done this bit, and now what we need to do is a triple treble into the top of every one of those double trebles, and we are going to do 3 chains in between each one of those. So to do a replacement double treble we did 4 stitches. To do a replacement triple treble we're going to do 5 chains, not stitches, chains, and then in between each one will be 3 chains. So the first one we're going to do is going to be 8 chains, and then do a triple treble into the next one along. So here we go. Remember, we've still got our beads on here, but we're going to keep pushing those down out of the way as we take more yarn up off the ball. So going to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then to do the triple treble we wrap the yarn around 3 times, and I'm just going to put my finger there to stop that loop getting too big as we work the next stitch. That keeps all the loops sort of a regular size. So that's through those 2, through those 2, through those 2, and through the last 2, and that is our triple treble, 3 separating stitches, and our triple treble into the next double treble along. Goodness me. So now we're going to chain 3 and do our triple treble into the next double treble along. And that is what we're going to do all the way around. Okay, so just doing the last couple of stitches on this round, and doing a triple treble here, and then I'm going to do chain 3, and we're going to slip stitch into the 5th chain here. So that's we've got 5, there we go, there's the 5th one, and I'll slip stitch into there, and that finishes that round. Okay, so if we've now done that one and that one, so now we're going to do this round, and what this is 2 double trebles together. And I've shown you how to do stitches together, and there'll be a link down below on how to do that, but we're going to do 2 double trebles together with a 5 chain space in between. And as you can see, we are doing these 2 double trebles together in between, you know, in this gap here, and as you can see we've ended up here. So to combat that, what we need to do is we need to do a couple of slip stitches here, so that, or just one, actually we just need to do 1 slip stitch into this space here, so that we can then work our rest of our rounds in the middle of those stitches, not into the top of those stitches there. Okay, so again, making sure our beads are out of the way, got plenty of yarn, and I'm going to just slip stitch and get hold of my yarn into that space there, and I'm going to do 2 double trebles. So 1, 2, 3, 4 chains to replace the double treble, and then 2 wraps around the yarn, the hook, and we're going to do that and then finish that off there. And then we're going to do 5 chains, and then we're going to do 2 double trebles together into that next chain, in that next 3 chain space there. So you work the stitch, I'll pull that out of the way, you can see, and you leave those last 2 hoops on. You would normally work those 2, but when you're doing them together you don't, you just wait till the last stitch has been done, so that we're now doing the next double treble. So now what we've got is 3 loops on there, and then we would finish off all of those at once like that, and then that just brings the 2 together like that. I'll put a link down below on how to do that. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 chains, and again 2 double trebles together into the next 3 chain space. So keep that loop on there and finish that off when you've done your last stitch, which will be now like that. And you can see you're working in the middle there. So we're just going to do that all the way around, and I'll come back when we get to the beginning. Okay, so now we're just coming to the last couple of stitches on this round. Sorry if you can hear my washing machine in the background. You know, washing doesn't wait, does it? Oh dear. Right. Oh dear, I messed up that one. So let's do that again. So now we're just going to do the last chain, 5 chains, and we're going to slip stitch into the top of those 2 stitches, 2 double trebles together there, and there we go. So that's our 3rd round done. As you can see, it's a lot bigger because I'm using a bigger yarn than this one. A lot bigger. We've still got 2 more rounds to go, but yeah, I mean that's the difference of using a thicker yarn, isn't it, and a bigger hook. Okay, so the next rounds we're going to just be doing, which are going to be really simple, into the top of these loops, these chain spaces, we're going to be just doing chains. So this next round will just be, I think it's 7 chains, 7 chains, and what we need to do is we need to work from the middle. So we've ended up not in the middle. Yeah, we've ended up on the top of these posts. So this time we're going to do 3 slip stitches to bring us into the middle of that chain space, like that. And then we're just going to chain 7. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7. And then we're just going to do a little double, or you may know that's a single, into the middle of that chain space there. Okay, so that's 7 chains. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and again just a double into that 5 chain space from the row below, and that's all you do. You just do that all the way around. One more time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and just do the double into that 5 chain space like that. Okay, so I'm just going to carry on and do that all the way around. Okay, so we've just got a couple more to go, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 into that one, and then this one, because the final round is again working in these middle stitches, these middle chains, what we're going to do is we're going to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, actually yeah, there's 7 for that one, so into there. And then what we need to do is we want to do 4 chains, 2, 3, 4, like that, and we're going to do a treble into that stitch there, which is where we started off. So remember, if we were replacing a treble, that would be 3 stitches, so 3 chains, so 3 plus 4 chains would be 7, which is what we've been doing all the way around. So a normal treble, just as you would do, but we're just going to do it into that place, that space there where we started doing our first chain, and then oops, again just into that space there. And then when you work the treble, you end up having a replica of the 7 chains, but you're in the middle like that. You can see now. Okay, so let me put that down. As you can see, this is just getting quite large now. Definitely not the right sort of yarn to be using for this delicate doily, but you know, I wanted to be able to see it, and I just don't think you would be able to see properly what I was doing if I was using this thin yarn and a very small hook. Okay, so now we're going to start incorporating the beads onto the edge. So what we're going to do, this last round is again similar to this with the 7 chains, but this has 9 chains. So we're going to ignore the pattern that would be just do 9 straight chains and then double crochet into the loop. We're going to chain 4. We're going to replace the 5th stitch by adding the bead, which I will show you. Still work a stitch, but I will show you, and then work 4. So you've got 9 stitches altogether. So it's going to be the same, but that 5th stitch will be replaced by adding a bead, and then double crochet into that chain space to make that pattern continue. Okay, so now where we've been pushing the beads away, we need to bring them back up off the ball of yarn. So let's push them up. We don't want all of them, but we do want to be able to get hold of them. Okay, so let's pull one up away from the group, and let's pull it up here towards the hook. We don't want it just there at the minute, but we do want it close by. So we're going to, like I say, chain 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And if you were doing this pattern without adding the beads, you will just do 9 and double crochet into this space, but we're going to add a bead on that 5th stitch. So pull the bead up close to the hook, okay, so as up close as you can get it. And then what you're going to do is you're going to make your chain just as you normally would, but you're going to now have that bead as part of that chain, and that is exactly and all you have to do to add a bead into your crochet work there. So I've done that 5th stitch there, so I'm going to carry on now. 6, 7, 8, 9, double crochet into that other loop there, and I'm going to show you again how to add that bead, and there you go, it's added, and that is it. That is exactly what you do, and that's all you have to do. It's so simple, and yeah, just really pretty, I think. So as you can see, these beads are just not the right size for this yarn, but again, this is just for clarity. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Get your next bead, pull it right up to the hook, get it up as close as you can, put the hook around the yarn and pull it through your loop just as you normally would, but now your bead is attached. So carry on, so that's 6, 7, 8, 9, and again that double crochet into that loop there to finish that off. And as you can see, there are your beads added. I'm going to do that one more time. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Pull your bead up close to the hook, like that. I'm going to pull the yarn over the hook and through the loop. Now you've got that bead incorporated into that chain stitch. So that's 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then double crochet into that next loop along. Okay, so I'm going to go round and I'm going to stop when I get round to here again. So I'm going to show you, I'll speed up the footage. Okay, so I'm just coming up to my last bit now, and it started to rain actually, so you can probably hear the rain and my washing machine going at the same time. So sorry about that. 2, 3, 4, and then add that one into that 5th space there. 6, 7, 8, 9, and then we're just going to slip stitch into that chain there like that, and then that's it. That's that doily finished. So there you go, you would cut your yarn and finish it off, and yeah, this would probably need a bit of well, it needs heavier beads, doesn't it, basically, but you get the idea. You can see what see how it adds a little bit of sparkle and colour and something different to your project. I still think it looks really cute actually. I still like it. Probably better, maybe better as actually a doily as opposed to a jug cover, this one, just mainly because the beads aren't heavy. I mean, you need a nice sort of firm glass bead. Yeah, pleased with that. I'm quite pleased with that. I probably won't undo that. I normally undo things, but no, I think I'm going to keep that one. But here's the one that we started off looking at, and yeah, I mean, I've just gone with yellow and blue there. It's a nice summery bright combination, and yeah, that is how you add beads to your work. So I hope you found this video helpful. I would love a thumbs up if you did. Yeah, I've put loads of links down below to all the tutorials that I've done previously that will help you with making this video, and yeah, down below is where you can leave me suggestions for more videos. You can find me on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. You know me at Instagram, I'll be there all the time. And yep, check out the website for my blog, and you can subscribe to my blog if you wish. That would be nice. And yeah, I'll see you very soon in the next video. Thank you so much for watching. Bye now.